actually really surprised that there's very little content out there about the new Blackmagic Ursa Broadcast G2. This is actually an amazing camera. The more and more I use it, the more and more I'm impressed. So if you're asking the question, would I buy this camera? Would I prefer this over certain other cameras that I'm gonna name? Absolutely. This thing is a heck of a camera. I think you're gonna be really impressed with the image quality, the functionality. I'm really happy with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the footage side by side with the 6K and the Ursa Broadcast G2. So we'll start out with a few static images here, and side by side you're going to see there's slightly more dynamic range to the new Ursa Broadcast G2, which is really nice. There's also, it seems a little bit better color. I like the color of this new sensor. Now the sensor is actually the exact same size as the Pocket 6K, but I will say the Ursa Broadcast seems slightly softer. I don't know why, but I have detail sharpening on low for both of these cameras, and the Broadcast, maybe I just didn't pull focus correctly on the Broadcast, but it seems slightly softer. I don't know if that was my error or if that's an actual camera error, but still a great image. I think this sensor is actually really impressive. It's not like crazy huge improvements. Something I will say for this camera is it's another $2,000, of course, for this as opposed to the 6K, but you really don't need to rig out this camera. I mean, maybe buy a couple of 15mm rails and a follow focus, but other than that, you're pretty much ready to go. And of course, a V-mount battery. Whereas my 6K cinema rig, I spent $4,000 on anyway. So if you spend around $4,500, you're gonna get an amazing setup, not to mention the cost of a lens, but still, if you've already got EF glass, you're gonna be set. This is a great camera. As always, I like to get outdoors and test my gear out in the field and give you guys a real world test of the gear that I'm trying out. So I decided to head up to the Toyab National Forest and try and get some shots. Actually, I ran into some issues, so I shot my footage side by side with the 6K, came back, loaded it onto my computer, and it wouldn't play anywhere. It wouldn't play in Blackmagic Raw Player. It wouldn't play in Premiere. Wouldn't even play in DaVinci. So if you're gonna get this camera, you need to make sure that you download the latest update of Blackmagic Raw on their website, as well as the latest edition of DaVinci Resolve. Actually, you can run it in Premiere without DaVinci, but DaVinci Resolve 16 will not play it. So you need to download both the Raw and the latest update of DaVinci. Alright, so I'm going to be recording both these cameras at their fullest sensor size. Then we're going to load it up in post, take a look at it, see how they stack up. These could turn out to be the exact same quality sensor. I will say the Ursa Broadcast boasts really good low light performance. That'll be in a separate video coming up, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and try these out. So you'll see I actually have two different lenses on these cameras, but I actually swapped lenses when I did this test, both using the Canon 7200 2.8 IS version 2. On the left you'll see the Ursa Broadcast G2, and on the right you'll see the Blackmagic 6K. And the framing isn't exactly right, but you just get an idea of the image quality of both of them side by side. A few of my settings were a little off because going from ISO to gain, it doesn't give you an option to choose ISO. So let's go to our rolling shutter. First, you're going to see the Ursa Broadcast G2, and this is the Pocket 6K. And then slowed down, you'll see the Ursa G2, which is slightly smoother than the Pocket 6K is right here, and slightly less of the rolling shutter. Not great, but not bad. So yeah, it's slightly better. Next up, I did an autofocus test where you tap on the screen the area you want to focus on, and then I tapped on the foreground and then I tapped on the background just to see how fast it was, how it would, if it would be racking the way the old 6K does. So the first clip was the Ursa. This is now the broadcast. I'm sorry, this is the Pocket 6K. and it's definitely slower and racks in and out more to try and find the subject. So they haven't really improved their autofocus situation, which is a bummer. And finally, the last part of this video, we're going to take a look at the skin tones. Some of you asked for some footage of the skin tones. Here is my studio light setup. I've got a fill light, a key light, and a backlight. And I think I'm shooting at around 5,000 Kelvin. And I got my guitar right next to me so that you can see, some of the wood tones next to my skin tone. I am really happy with the color representation that the Broadcast G2 records. I think this is an incredible camera. I am using the Sigma 2470 2.8, the Sigma Art 2470 2.8 OS lens here, which is a great multi-purpose lens, and I think it does well at capturing colors as well. It's a great lens to use with this camera. Of course, great lens to use with any EF mount camera. But I am really happy with the overall results of this new Broadcast G2 sensor. At the end of the day, I am really impressed with the new Ursa Broadcast G2. I would highly recommend this camera. Of course, Blackmagic has been doing a great job with their cameras, with their sensors, and it's only getting better. I would definitely recommend this camera. If you are looking to buy it, use that link below. It'll really help me out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.